Hello viewers out there, you're welcome once again to Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Salifu Usman is also in studio with me. Salifu, welcome to today's edition.
Thank you, Ashu.
Right, on today's edition, all the program will begin straight from the AFCON qualifiers where Rwanda have actually been boasting that they are on a mission to beat the Super Eagles of Nigeria when they clash later in their Group D encounter later against Super Eagles in Uyo later on. Of course, many have called this game a dead rubber game, but for the Rwandans, yeah, exactly. Depending on other results, exactly. But of course, and a lot of analysts have said, "You look, this might be a dead rubber," but they believe the Super Eagles should also, step up to the plate. And some people have expressed disappointment at the withdrawals, some due to injuries, while some have said they feel those injuries are not really serious ones. But you can never tell. Olaina has, withdrawn. Then, of course, yesterday we had also heard about Ademola Lookman also flying back to Italy over an injury. But whichever way it is for the Super Eagles, I mean, sometimes in groups like this is where you show your superiority. It doesn't matter whether you've qualified or not. Just ensure that, let it be that at the end of the day, they say you had a perfect qualifying campaign. So I expect Eagles to go all out since Rwandans are beginning to talk tough.
Yeah, I think that is the missions of Austin Ekbabo. Austin Ekbabo, what he has achieved so far, and definitely you don't want anything to pinch his record, and you definitely want to have a clean sheet by at least probably not win or not having not testing a defeat throughout the qualifier. But like we said earlier, I think they Rwanda have their own destiny in their own hand. All they need to do to beat the Super Eagles. If you look at the group, Super Eagles leading the group with 11 points. They are followed by Rwanda with 8 points, and while the Republic is having 7 points. So if they beat the Super Eagles, it means they are qualified for the AFCON, just like the coach said. And if they must qualify, they must beat the Super Eagles. But he said they are here to beat the Super Eagles and hope that if they can achieve. But if you're looking at just like you say, they will withdraw from the Super Eagles team. We are going to meet the service of Olaina and Ademola Lookman. But in their absence, we have a more than a capable replacement, more than enough replacement for those guys. And it's even of opportunities in the case of Olaina for somebody like Osai to have his opportunity and to excel himself. If you're talking about Ademola Lookman, the like of our Boniface, Awoni, several, even the Sadiq Omar, several other key strikers are very much available to have that shot, probably express themselves. But it will be pretty difficult for the Rwanda to get the result they want to have in the Super Eagles.
I think so too.
And at the same time, as much as the Super Eagles are not on the mission of helping Benin Republic, but it is going to be pretty difficult for Rwanda to get the result they want to get here. I don't even see them get it wrong because the Super Eagles players are very hungry. Exactly. They have very more than key players in the camp to get the job done. So, I don't think Super Eagles they are on the mission to remove their leg from the feather this time around.
Still on the AFCON this time, this time talking about Ghana, who will also be taking against will confront Niger actually today. But I mean, it's no longer news that Ghana failed to qualify for the 2025 AFCON, but they will be hoping to at least end the campaign on a winning note against Benin Republic. For Ghana, gradually in the shoes where Nigeria was some years ago, where we failed to qualify for the AFCON. In fact, back-to-back AFCONs, and it was a shocker. Nobody ever thought that. I mean, for some of us, never ever imagined that Nigeria will not qualify for an AFCON. And Ghana, this will be their first time of missing out on the AFCON, and really not good times for Ghanaian football.
Yeah, not really good time for Ghanaian football, and the fans are very disappointed. And particularly Coach Adu, he could have surprisingly qualified them for the World Cup 2 years ago, at the expense of the almighty Super Eagles. Exactly. And then down the lane, just in less than 2 years, and they are not strong to qualify for Africa Cup of Nations. If you look at the sign are there since last year. If you look at the Ghana performance at the last AFCON, it clearly shows that the Ghana football is going down. And at the same time, the signs are also there for a very long. Maybe the Ghanaians didn't notice this. Unlike in the Super Eagles, we have some players going up. after the eras of the exit of the likes of Samoa Gyan, Michael Action, and several other key players, the Pele brothers. But you hardly see some young players grown up. Even though we see some of their under 20 team excel doing well, but we hardly hear a notable name like we had in the past. Unlike we are seeing the Super Eagles having the like of Victor Moses, Victor Boniface, Ademola Lukman, and several other heading their name doing well at their respective club. How many Ghanaian players can you
apart from probably Kudus?
Probably
Kudus. I think for now that's one of the biggest Ghanaian players. If you ask me,
exactly. Even at the club level, you hardly heard of Ghanaian name. Unlike in the past, when you are having Sule Mutari, Samoa Gyan, Michael Essien, even Appian, and several key players. But you hardly hear key Ghanaian players. So I think the sign are very definitely very long about this, like they didn't notice. Currently, their bigger players at the moment is the Arsenal guy, Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey and Kudus. Unfortunately, even Partey, Thomas Partey is not even with the coach. And he has to be let out of this qualifier. So, but just like say, we have our time, we have our turn before it's not their own turn, and he's going to take Ghana and how they'll be able to come out of this dwindle. How they're going to come out of it is a different thing to see in the long run. But the Ghana must find a way of bouncing back to Africa, or going to Africa Cup of Nations without Ghana for the first time in the very long time is quite very disappointing. And if you look at the group they were able to pair, for them to miss a qualification to get that group, it's really disappointing.
Alright, still on the AFCON qualifiers, a couple of so far 19 countries have qualified, while we await the remaining I think five. Yeah, exactly. So far we have the likes of host Morocco, who of course qualified automatically by virtue of being host, then the likes of Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Algeria, DR Congo, the usual suspects, Senegal, Egypt, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Uganda, South Africa, Gabon, Tunisia, Nigeria, Zambia, Mali, Zimbabwe, and the Comoros. For Comoros, I think this should be their first or second AFCON, if I'm not.
I think they were there. They were there in 2021 in Cameroon. When they surprisingly beat Ghana in that competition.
Yeah, exactly.
So. I think I don't know if the producer can show the group standing so I will know where the likely, because one slot is still left in the group D, where out in the Super Eagles there is the ticket between where Rwanda and the Republic are fighting for now. Apart from that, there's other 4 slots that is also remaining. I don't know if you look at the show us the table, so to know where those tickets may likely come from. But if you're looking at the team that are so far qualified. To me, there's no big surprise.
No, at all. Like you said, the usual suspects.
They are all usual suspects, except with the Comoros you talk about. Even the Comoros, they were there 2 years ago, and some countries we expected them to make a comeback this year. May likely not go to come back. Like for example, we are aware of Ghana already.
And same for Cape Verde also. Looks like
Cape Verde. And we need to see their group whether they still have a reliable chance of progressing. But we don't know. Maybe later we'll come to that. To show the group and we'll analyze the group, whether they still have a chance of qualifying. And it will be very disappointing. It came at the quarterfinal. Not going to the next edition is going to be a very surprising one right there.
All right, we'll move over from that now, where Super Eagles forward Victor Boniface has said the likes of Ivory Coast, Morocco, Mali, and Senegal are the 4 teams to watch at the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The Nigeria International, who came as a second half substitute in Nigeria's 1-1 draw against Benin last Thursday, said in the chat with Football Fans Tribe that he believes that the host, the likes of Ivory Coast, will be teams to watch, including Mali. But when it comes to African football, well, he might be right. But when you look at the performance of these teams in the last AFCON, some of us might want to disagree with him. Maybe for me, maybe Morocco stands out by virtue of being hosts and of the performance. But for these other teams, if you check, Cote d'Ivoire, of course, defending champions, then Senegal, and for Cote d'Ivoire, we also had they ended up, and I'm sure that being host actually gave them the advantage. It's not as if they were really fantastic, but sometimes football has like the colleague God of soccer has a way of smiling on you sometimes.
Yeah, but if you look at it based on the current form and the pedigrees of those three nations he mentioned, you also intend to agree with him. And also, just like you say, at the last edition, at the last AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, all eyes were on Morocco based on their artistry and what they did at the World Cup. People were hoping that they would just come to the Africa last nations for and take the trophy home. But unfortunately, that never happened. But this time around, they're going to play at home, and with their cohesions and with the longevities they have together, that is going to help their cause. And when you are play at home and have your fans behind you, it's going to stand you out. And obviously, yes, if you are to look the potential champion that will likely win to this edition of AFCON, you can't rule out Morocco. Morocco is there, and defending champion in any tournament is always seen as a force to reckon with. Surprisingly, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire came from nowhere at the last. Yes, before going to the tournament, people were giving them high expectation on them, but unfortunately, in the middle of the tournament, there's a loss of hope on them because of their performance at the group stage. But just like you say, God of soccer smile on them, and at the turn of them, they mistakenly come from behind to progress to the second round, and then from there, things were not going to be the same for them again, and then they were all in the final, and then beating our Super Eagles in the final, and then to win the title. So with that on ground, and still the same team and the same coach, so there's always hope that they're going to do well at the next edition in Morocco. And at the same time, if you look at Senegal, yet Papa Cissé is no longer the coach, but if you look at what Senegal has done in the last 5 years, they won the 2021 edition in Cameroon. They came to the Cote d'Ivoire to defend that title, but unfortunately they couldn't. They were set back in the quarterfinal. So, but you still, if you look at African football and you look at the way they are qualified, you still give Senegal that they have what it takes to reclaim African title anytime. So you still agree that Senegal is still a force to reckon with. But I'm also surprised. Maybe Boniface is trying to be the economical with people, not measured. Exactly. If you look at it, I also buy in my own view. I'm not just because I'm a patriotic say, but if you're looking at the African team, all the team at the moment, it's just that sometimes some things are not going our way, either tactically or this. But in terms of individual players, Super Eagles have the best squad, one of the best squad in Africa.
Definitely,
in terms of individual. I'm not for if you are talking of a team, it's different, but talking of individual players that every team have. Super Eagles will have one of the best in Africa. So have Super Eagles is still a force to reckon with going to the next African Cup of Nations. And by the way, we are qualified, and if we put our hands together with everything going our way without any issues, I think we're going to be there to challenge for title in Morocco.
Definitely. All right, two other stories now where also Victor Osimhen this time around says that in spite of whatever records any player holds, he believes late Super Eagles striker, legendary Rashidi Yakini remains best Nigerian striker of all time. Osimhen so far has already scored 23 goals, just 14 short of Rashidi's 37, which makes him the all-time leading goal scorer when it comes to the Super Eagles. And completely, for some of us, we quite agree with him.
Not even some of all Nigerians are quite agree with him. Because if you're looking at the Rashidi Yakin, how many years has Rashidi Yakin played for the national team?
Yeah, exactly.
In all record, I think he played 55 matches and scored 37 goals. And for years, led the nation, exactly. And that record still stands today. I'm even surprised that if all the players are producing, even Edegbami is still the second best in terms of goals for the Nigerian national team. So it is now Osimhen that we are even happy that he's dreaming of probably going to equal that record. And even as that, he still have a 14 goal difference at where he is at the moment. So whether we like it or not, in terms of statistics, everything, statistics really remain the best finishers Super Eagles has ever.
All right, to the MPFL down where Rivers United coach Finidi George has expressed satisfaction that with his side's draw with Remo Stars over the weekend 0-0 it was in that one. Of course, if we have other MPFL results, let's have a look at it. But 0-0 it was against Remo Stars and Rivers United. Also for Lobby Stars also tasted a defeat at the weekend. Looks like, It's beginning to look like maybe Amokachi might not last in that position the way things are going. This
But
is
he's still
Lobby
hoping.
Stars.
He's still hoping. But
Yeah, he's hoping, 6 defeats of the season so far, but he's still talking tough. According to him, the team is going to hit top form very soon. And if you had seen maybe their last 2 games where he picked up a win, you might think, okay, they are beginning to bounce back. But once again, suffering
there's no
another
consistent
setback
performance.
at all.
Yeah. Your tip of the table, Remo Star, River United ended 0-0, and for Finidi, that's satisfactory going away to the Ogun State and picking a point. It's quite impressive, and both of them are tied on the point on the same note. But Remo is still standing tall on top of the table. And if you're looking at the result at the weekend, it was fantastic, and even the Canopilla were held to 2 draw at home by Heartland.
We have talked about that match and said it was going to be a tough one.
A tough one for despite that Canopilla has to play at home for the first time, having the full strength of their fans.
So it looks like Amunike is gradually showing that he's a tested coach.
Yes, Amunike is beginning to find his ground. He's beginning to prove his word that yes, he's a coach to understand it, and he's good. If you're looking at he's stronger at the start of the season, which is very understanding, and since he has beginning to pick up, and he has begun to pick up where he needed to pick a point, and begin to show that yes, we are beginning to see his impact, his technical impact on the team. Going to Canopy in very hostile areas, and they're getting the 2-2 draw with the team that is boasted the like of Ahmed Musa, Sheikh Abdullah, and the legend midfielder Rabiu and so quite impressive and a good result for Amunike there. And another surprising result that I also get at the weekend is Produce traveling to Sunshine, beating Sunshine Star 2-1. And like I say, Produce are beginning to get their acts together, and this is still match now, extending the unbeaten run, unbeaten run in the league. And these are some of the impressive results that we're going to see in the league. And hopefully that if you can see the result, the other result are also going out to the way. But so far, I'm impressed with Heartland and the way we're beginning to see Amunike is beginning to exert his authority on Heartland team.
Exactly. Right there we have it. Aqua United 1-0 over Nasarawa United. El Kanemi Warriors, good result. It was for them 1-0 over Niger Tornadoes. Kano Pillars 2-2 draw. We just said that. Of course, the Oriental Derby also. Abia Warriors holding a 1-1 draw. Bayelsa United 1-1 against Katsina United. And of course, Aqua United 2-0 over Plateau United. Enugu Rangers champions 3-2 over Benden Insurance. While the last match, of course, Sunshine Stars versus Lobby Stars 1-0 was in Akure.
Yes, and another surprise I can say Academy were bound back to win after losing their first match of the season last weekend, and then they are back to the win, and I hope that they continue from there. And for Produce, we see that earlier, and the derby in Aba between Abia the two team in Aba City, Ayinibas and Abia were 1-1. Fantastic result there. Even though whoever is playing at home, both of them are playing at home. That's understanding there. But for Lobby Stars, just like say, losing a game and losing another match again is quite disappointing. And I think Daniel Mokashi needs to begin to show his strength, just like we are beginning to see Manuel Amunike doing in that land.
Of course, to some athletics now, where Samuel Onikeku has been removed as head of the technical subcommittee and technical director of AFN, that's the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. He is one of 2 AFN principal officers who was indicted by the investigative committee that was set up by John Eno before he left. Although the report said there was no reason really given for dismissal or dissolution, but it might not be unconnected with the panel set up by former minister, which he wasn't able to superintend till the end before he was removed out of
after what happened at the Tokyo Olympics, particularly the fiasco and particularly the missing of 100-meter ladies who were not listed. So that committee was set up, headed by our own Abdulmumin Alao, the journalist. So that committee submitted their report after the minister would have left, although not officially submitted to the chairman of the National Security Commission, but the chairman of the Security Commission instructed that they should release it out, and it was released out on the social media and on media platform, and we also saw it. And in that report, just like you said, two officials of the FN were indicted, particularly the secretary and the secretary of the federation, Mrs. Bishi, and the technical director. So that both of them were negligent in duty for not ensuring and monitor properly how the lady Ophelia missed that 100 meter. And that report also indicated that Ophelia should be compensated with $5,000 for the winning bonus, which was supposed to be about anything have won that title. And those two officials should be put. But we don't know whether not because of that the Okowa-led Athletic Federation decided to remove Olukeku. We don't know, but what they dissolved all the subcommittee. By that resolution, Olukeku has left his position as but either he's going to be appointed or don't know, but he has left his position as
All right, some football news now. Of course, at the weekend, the Queens did Nigeria proud as they defeated Mamelodi Sundowns of Africa 2-1 in their CAF Women's Champions League competition in Morocco. The Queens who won the Nigerian title for the first time last season went ahead to beat all comers to win the WAFU B Women's Champions League competition. And Gusau is actually congratulating them and has actually charged them to go all the way to win the competition. Well, good one for Edo Queens, if you ask me. Mamelodi Sundown is not an easy team.
Champion.
Exactly, you know what? Not so. For them, they are really poised to go all the way if they stay focused and are not distracted.
Yeah, fantastic one for the Edo Queens. Congratulations on the Edo Queens. The semi-final now they're going to take TP
Mozambique, another top team.
Another top team tomorrow in one of the semi-final. Yeah. And in the usual character, just like the president always do to the Super Eagles, the new governors make a video call to the girls this morning.
Exactly.
I was so impressed. I said, wow. So making a video call to the girls this morning, and I hope it will not backfire if you recall what happened during the February, where we made a video to Super Eagles, and the next Super Eagles lost the organization because of the video call. So, but I said, in my view, it is good to encourage the girls, but those who are managing the media team of the governor, allow the governor to at least to calm down small, but not it's not too bad. It's good to encourage the girls, and we hope that whatever word he has put into the girls will go a long way to ginger them, and the girls will know that now with that communication with the governors, it is not about them. Yes, they are representing the club, they are representing the country, but first and foremost, they are representing their family.
Definitely.
And what is the opportunity is now for them. They have the opportunity in their hand to make or mar their life. So what they have now is an opportunity. If they go on, just like an NFL president has urged them, and win this title, it's a money pitching tournament. They are going to make a million, and they will be guaranteed that with that governor who want to make a statement, coming to the office and winning the CAF Champions League, they're going to be reward handsomely, and it's going to be a very big money for them and for their family. So the girls and the team to know that it is an opportunity for me to become a millionaire.
Definitely.
And that's to me that is a good motivation, and so that as enough encouragement to go all out. Don't see they should be Mozambique as a stopping block to achieve this target.
Exactly. All right, to our final story before we leave, some tennis now, talking about Spanish superstar Rafael Nadal, who is aiming to cap his emotional farewell from tennis with another Davis Cup triumph, which will take place in Malaga next week. Nadal has battled injuries over the past few years, and the extent to which he can compete for his country is unknown, but all eyes will be on the Grand Slam winner 22, that is, as he leads Spain, hoping for another victory in the Davis Cup final. Well, like we said, end of one era. The second leg of the trial after him now. Of course, I'm sure Djokovic to another 1-2 years too might be hanging up his racket to leave the stage for a lot of the new upcoming guys, the likes of the Alcaraz, the Sinas, Medvedev, and the rest of them.
Yes, you have said the eras of the three big men is gradually coming.
Exactly.
And we see Federer edged out about 2 years ago, and now Federer and Nadal injuries. We see even Djokovic
gradually
the bodies begin to tell, the body started showing, and with the like of Alcaraz, Sinas, Medvedev as well, begin to show some skill. At the moment, Sinas is the top ranking tennis player, so he clearly showed that the eras of Djokovic, Nadal is already on. It's already gone.
Yeah.
So if Nadal is still playing, if Djokovic is still playing, and Sinner is being the one ranking at the best tennis player, it clearly shows that those guys are clearly asking you to break the stage.
Yeah.
And we wish Nadal all he wishes for himself. He has done the best he can for the tennis, and the game of tennis will forever remember him.
Yeah. All right, that's our package for today's edition of Sports Audit. Hopefully, we'll be back during the week once again. Of course, don't forget Super Eagles will be in action later tonight. We'll keep an eye on that one. Even though they have qualified, but most Nigerians, all Nigerians will be hoping for another sounding victory.
At least your integrity is at stake.
Exactly.
You need to protect your integrity.
Don't forget that we drew with Rwanda, so we'll have to teach them that.
At the same time, don't forget we still have a World Cup qualifier against them. By the time we World Cup qualifier in March, they are going to be the first opponent. So you need to tell them. You don't need to give them any gap. You need to give them any opportunity that we can do this against Eagles.
Exactly. All right. That's wonderful. Thank you for being on today's edition of the program.
Thank you, Alpha.
Until we come your way again, do join us on Thursday once again. Have a wonderful time. My name is Alpha Cho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.